Good morning. It is 12:06, so I can't officially say it's good morning. I guess I should say it's good afternoon. Good afternoon on the afternoon of July the 13th. I have no idea where the hell July is going or why it's moving as quickly as it is, but it is kind of disconcerting. I wrote this the other day after returning home from a walk with Lesley. We try to get out and walk at least 3 or 4 days a week. We try and walk anywhere from 3.5 to 4 miles when we walk, and it got me to thinking about walking. I mean, just the blessing, that we're able to do that I'm able to do that after everything that I've been through. So it occurred to me while I was thinking about the walk that I tend to divide everything up into three sections during the walk. One of the sections is moving meditation, which is really an interesting concept in and of itself. Is the fact that you can walk and chew gum at the same time, that you can calm your mind and be still and aware and take in all the beauty of nature around you, and remain moving while you do that. And especially if you choose where you walk, where you are in nature when you do that. Although it doesn't really matter because there's beauty everywhere. It surrounds us. Another more obvious part of this morning or afternoon ritual of walking is what I call catching up in conversation. You wouldn't think that you'd have to do a lot of that when there are only two people in the house and we're stuck here together because of me being immunocompromised and Lesley being terrified to bring something into the house that'll cause me a problem later on, having been through multiple hospitalizations and all the chaos that goes along with that. But catching up in conversation is really important. It's when you talk about what happened yesterday or what's on your mind or a conversation you had with a friend or anything else. It's really critically important if you're in a relationship because it helps keep you and your partner connected. And no matter how superficial that conversation may seem, it's not. Because it's important that both of you are aware of what the other is thinking, at least most of the time. The third part of the walk is very personal, really, and I call that contemplation, and that's when you're thinking about all of the various crazy and sundry nutty things that are going on in the world around you and trying to make sense out of any of it or all of it. And it's not such an easy thing to do. I mean, but it is something that we're involved in constantly, and it's in all honesty, a really profound source of material for a lot of the stuff that I write or talk about. This particular morning, I was thinking about the difference between now and later. I mean, it sounds simple enough on the outside. You either do something now or you do it later. I happen to believe that this is a sidebar. It's not in the. You won't find this if you read the blog post. But I think a big part of procrastination is waiting for someone or something else to make a decision for you, so you don't have to make it yourself, so that you don't have to be responsible for it. But that's another column. It's something else to write about. But I was thinking a lot about this idea of now and later, and it's interesting because immediately we're left with looking at immediate gratification or delayed gratification. Enjoying something in the present instantly, or being able to set off whatever the rewards of that something is for later on. And we forget, I think, too often that it doesn't have to be either or. Because we all know people that have deferred everything for a better life in the future that nobody has any guarantee is coming. I was one of them. Until something catastrophic, something profound happens in your life and you're forced to reevaluate what it is you're doing and why you're doing it. It doesn't have to be either or. It doesn't have to be putting everything off for the future, some amorphous state in the future when you have no idea whether or not you'll ever be able to take advantage of it, or living only in the moment and not really considering what has to be done to keep body and soul together in the future. But I think it's a false narrative. We become trapped in a false narrative of unnecessary choice here, because it doesn't have to be either or. It can be both. We can balance this with a little bit of creativity. We can manage to walk and chew gum at the same time. I think that's something important for us to think about, and that's why I brought it up, obviously. This idea of now or later, immediate or delayed gratification, and being forced to prioritize, because that's something that flows directly out of this. That's all well and good, but what do I do right now? And what do I do next? And maybe that's what we'll write about next. Who knows? In the meantime, stay well and take care.